Are you struggling in Elden Ring Nightreign? Then this video is for you. I'll give you some tips on how to succeed on solo easier. First thing I do is check the map. It is very important to check the map. Once you land, I recommend going to chapels or caves. Certain caves are great since they can either have trolls, knights, or pumpkin heads in there, and once killed, they'll drop smithing stone 2s, which will be your weapon to purple variant. As you can see in this example, I went to the bottom of the map since I landed there, and this cave that I'm showing you here actually has a troll in it. And once you find and kill, you can get a smithing stone 2 right off the bat. You can get a smithing stone 1 from just going to a merchant found somewhere in the map. So I recommend going to a cave early just so you have that for endgame if you're going to keep your starting weapon. Now my next tip is to go to a chapel. On my map I saw that there was a chapel just above, so I hit that little geyser on the side of the hill to get up here. If you go to the front of the chapel, you'll see there's a chest right here which usually has a stone sword key, which is very crucial. With picking up those stone sword keys are crucial with this relic I'll show you near the end of the video, because when you go to an Evergale and defeat the boss, you'll get a permanent buff to your attack damage, so it is very nice to get those. In the middle castle, the big castle, if you come up to the side here and actually go to the top, there is 3 big chests here that usually have good items in it. Sometimes you can find a purple, or maybe you can even find another stone sword key if you were lucky. Now, just to show you another cave location that could have a smithing stone 2 is just north of the map, kind of in the middle ravine in normal Windgrave. If you go in here, you'll find Pumpkinhead, which once you kill him, you will get a smithing stone 2. Just in case maybe you have another blue weapon that you want to upgrade. Now, if you're doing a magic build, I recommend going to one of these rises. Usually there's something fake on the side. As you can see here in this bush, there was a little like blue shield, which you can go whack and you'll be able to go inside. If you see the front doors of these rises are not blocked, then the fake thing is inside. So just check what might seem fake on the outside or inside. Another big tip I can say is when you are looking at weapons either dropped on the ground or through the Evergales, I recommend looking at what the buffs are on the bottom of the weapon, because those are permanent buffs that you can keep. So it could be if you hold one weapon and you dual hold it, then you can get a buff with that. Certain weapons have that on there, or even some can even just buff like ranged weapons if you're a fan of Iron Eye. So it is very nice to keep those weapons and just use all your slots in your inventory. As you can see in this area right here, there is a nice chest which could have a stone sword key, which links back to collecting those and going to Evergales. The relic is called the Grand Luminous Scene, and the other one I recommend is the Grand Burning Scene. I accidentally made this clip a little too short, but I do show you where to acquire these. As you can see on the Grand Burning Scene, you get a lot more runes for self and allies, and you also start with a stone sword key, which is nice to get more runes. To get the Grand Burning Scene, you come to this little Alexander guy, and you can buy it with coins. I believe you have to beat at least 2 night bosses to acquire this, or it might be defeating the Night Aztec. Don't quote me on that. To get the Grand Luminous Scene, which is the best one in the game, which I recommend, is once you fight those weekly bosses that are enforced versions of other bosses, you get these special tokens which you can spend at this shop right here. These bosses are much harder, but once you get it, this relic is so nice even if you go and beat this boss first, then the other bosses will be much easier. Another way to help you do better is doing journal quests, which if you go from the main area here and go to the left, you have a little journal up here, which at the journal you can do remembrance quests for each character. So as you can see, it goes to chapter 9 for Wilder, and I recommend doing them for everyone. I did Wilder first because I find Wilder really fun, and you get some really good chalices, which has this white slot which can get any relic color in there. As you can see, I'm just sifting through other people's remembrance relics, and they are pretty good. As you can see, I still use the Wilder's one. Now, if you lost to the Fell Omen in the tutorial and you didn't get a secret item, which is right here, I can show you a way to get back there. If you go to this little book in the corner, go to guides, you can redo the tutorial to fight him. Now you can see these are all my previous matches before I've got these relics and learned these tips. I was struggling at first, and then I started doing way better, and I've just been having a blast with the game. So I hope these tips helped you and you can do better.